Huge economic milestone. India leaps past Japan, becomes fourth largest economy in the world. Recent US intel report exposes major discrepancies in Pakistan's claims about its nuclear arsenal post-Operation Sindhu. Prime Minister Narendra Modi issues a gag order to motormouth irresponsible leaders. Prime Minister advises BJP leaders to be more careful regarding their statements on Op Sindhu. CDS Chauhan meets army jawans in Jammu and Kashmir, lauds them for success of Operation Sindhu. All right, we are beginning this Sunday edition of This is Exclusive with breaking news coming in. First, from Punjab, where Akali leader Harjinder Singh has been shot dead. He was a councillor, a municipal councillor in Amritsar, and just an hour or so back, while he was moving out, he was shot dead by bike-borne assailants who are yet to be identified. These are pictures coming in from Amritsar. And we are going to get our reporter live in a bit. But this information is coming in that, and in fact, we have a police reaction also by ADG, additional DCP Harpal Singh Randhawa, who has said that the leader's brother and brother-in-law have complained that the attackers were the same people who had opened fire on him previously at his residence. Akali councillor Harjinder Singh Bahman shot dead by bike-borne assailants in Amritsar. And we have, in fact, Lalit Sharma joining us live from Chandigarh, our Punjab correspondent. Lalit, what more can you tell us? Who was this leader, and any details of why he has been shot dead? Who are those who have killed him? And whether the police is hot on their chase?
Abhishek ji, if we talk about as per the police and as per the relatives of the Akali leader who has been shot, who is said to be Harjinder Singh Bahman, who is the councillor from Ward number 2 in Jandiala Guru in Amritsar. He was shot in the evening by the unknown assailants who came on the bike. Around 3 to 4 fire shots were shot and all have hit him. And during his treatment on his way to the hospital, he's come to the bullets. So he was shot dead. But as per his brother-in-law, he has been said that some weeks ago, these were the same assailants who have given a threat to Harjinder Singh Bahman at that time also. So right now, police is investigating the whole matter as per the brother-in-law. But if we talk about the way it has been, the Akali leader has been killed. After that, there has been a lot of panic in that area. So in the evening, unknown assailants have shot dead the Akali Dal councillor from Ward number 2 in Amritsar. Jandiala Guru is the area from where he has been the councillor. So he has been shot dead, and police is further investigating this whole matter.
So, any clues about where those assailants are? Is the police zeroing down on their location and close to arresting them?
Well, Abhishek ji, as per the Republic TV has a word with the ADCP Harpal Singh. He has said that the CCTV footages of the area has been taken, and they are very close to the person, the unknown assailants who have shot dead. But till now, police is just chasing them, but they have got certain important clues, as all the CCTV footage has been taken, and further on,
Okay.
they are further investigating who the unknown assailants were. Back to the studio.
All right. Thank you so much, Lalit, for joining us with those details. We will, of course, keep close track of the developments in this story and come back to you as and when there is something more from the police coming in. Moving on. In a significant milestone, something for which we as citizens of India should be proud of, the Niti Aayog has officially announced that India has surpassed Japan to become the fourth largest economy in the world, with a current GDP at 4.18 trillion US dollars. This milestone underscores India's economic growth trajectory, and India's public policy think tank Niti Aayog, its chief executive officer, BVR Subhramanyam, also predicted that India may soon surpass Germany also and become the third largest economy, perhaps over the next couple of years. Let's look at that announcement made by Subhramanyam, and then we'll have a guest.
In a historic milestone, India has surpassed Japan to become the world's fourth largest economy. India is $4 trillion economy, trailing only US, China and Germany. Niti Aayog Chief Executive Officer BVR Subhramanyam confirmed this, citing data by the International Monetary Fund at a press conference on the 10th Niti Aayog Governing Council meeting.
We are the fourth largest economy as I speak. We are a $4 trillion economy as I speak. And this is not my data, this is IMF data. India today is larger than Japan. So it's only the United States, China and Germany which are larger. And if we stick to what is being planned, what is being thought through, it's a matter of another 2.5 to 3 years, we would become the third largest economy.
He further stated that India may soon surpass Germany and become the third largest economy in the world. As India is moving forward towards PM Modi's 2047 mission, BJP hails this milestone.
Yes, India has become the fourth largest economy in the world, and this has been possible because of the united effort of 1.4 billion people under the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. I personally also congratulate each and every citizen of Ma Bharati, and of course the Team India under the stewardship of Paramadhanaya Pradhan Mantri Narendra Modi ji.
As per IMF, the Indian economy is expected to grow by 6.2% in 2025 and 6.3% in 2026. India is projected to remain the fastest growing larger economy for 25 and 26, reaffirming its dominance in the global economic landscape.
All right, joining me for a short conversation on this good news, Ajay Dua, former Commerce Secretary of India. Very good evening to you, sir. Is this neighbor's envy, owner's pride kind of moment for us? The fundamentals looking good and the Indian economy cruising almost at a breakneck speed there vis-a-vis rest of the world?
Thank you for having me, Abhishek. First, I think the announcement yesterday by the Niti Aayog CEO was highly consequential from two aspects. One, that India has crossed the $4 trillion, say the line, to grow its GDP, which, as we all know, just about 6 years ago was below $2 trillion. So doubling it up in 6.5 years is a great achievement, I would say. Second, this is happening at a time when globally there are a whole lot of headwinds on trade, on FDI, as well as uncertainty caused by the President of the United States. The volatility which has been caused by the uncertainty of what is going to come from the United States. Yet, and that's affected us for 1 quarter of last year. President Trump was sworn in on the 20th of January, so it affected us till the end of March, for sure, counting last year. And the data which has been made use of to kind of indicate that we've gone past Japan is up to 31st March, and the data used is of IMF, not of a domestic body. So I think it is an extremely landmark achievement by India, and congratulations to the political leadership, to the economic leadership in the country, as well as the private sector, which would have contributed very largely, maybe much more in the export of services and production of services than as much in merchandise exports or merchandise production.
Right. So my next question to you is, before I let you go, with this kind of good news coming in and all the tailwinds there, you think that the private sector now really should pick up from here? Till now we see the heavy lifting having been done by the government and through the public sector spending. The private sector money was still, investments were still not coming in. You think now is the time that they should really pick up the tab and take it forward from here?
I'm fully in agreement with you on that, Abhishek, that post-COVID, the recovery which we saw, a very sharp recovery in the year 22-23, and a steady one subsequently, was driven largely by the government and its PSUs, both central as well as the states. It is time that the private sector in India, rather than, and they've had a good time, demand has been increasing, most of them have seen good, healthy bottom lines in the revenue as well as bottom lines, yet the capital investment from them to expand capacity has not kept pace with it. If anything, yesterday's data are a little shocking that last year's FDI inflows into India, which otherwise were $81 billion, a 14% increase over the previous year, yet the net FDI, which is what UNCTAD, the body which monitors FDI flows, is below $1 billion, $353 billion alone, which shows that the private sector is not really investing. If they are investing, it is the outflow out of India, not really in the greenfield projects in India where we would like to see them invest.
Right. My last question to you, sir, before I let you go. The Niti CEO also mentioned that it's just a matter of few years, maybe 2 or 3 years, he said, that India would actually be the third largest economy, displacing Germany from the pedestal. This good news has come in even before the renegotiated free trade agreements kick in. So we have recently signed one with the United Kingdom, before that with the UAE, before that with Australia, and one is in the works each with the EU and United States, of course. You think this is going to give tremendous tailwinds to our economy going forward?
I have absolutely no doubt about the fact that FTAs, which will facilitate freer trade than we have today, will certainly give a fillip to the Indian exports, Indian imports as well, trade, but trade as a whole adds to the GDP of the country. And that is where we can be sanguine, optimistic, that in addition to what activities we have been doing, which have given us a 6.2% rate of growth during the current year, despite our Q2 not having been very robust and bringing down the GDP in the first half to just about 5%. The second half of the year, despite all the headwinds, we've done very well, and the year has ended for us at 6.2. I'm optimistic that within a couple of years, we will be past Germany, because the rate of growth in European Union, as we all know, varies at most to 2.5%, and Germany is no exception to the rule for the 27 countries. Absolutely. So we could well be beyond that line also, and be in the happy position of having our GDP beyond 4.75 trillion within a couple of years.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dua, for joining us with that perspective. And hopefully those tailwinds from FTAs will take India higher and higher. That note, we move on, viewers. A recent US intelligence report has exposed major discrepancies in Pakistan's claims on nuclear arsenal post-Operation Sindoor. In fact, the report is post-Operation Sindoor, but it analyzes threats to United States, and in doing so, mentions how Pakistan has been beefing up its nuclear arsenal, particularly those tactical smaller weapons which can be dangerously used at a lower threshold. The United States Defense Intelligence Agency's 2025 Worldwide Threat Assessment highlights Pakistan's ongoing modernization of its nuclear arsenal and indicates that Pakistan is likely to obtain weapons of mass destruction related materials from foreign suppliers, primarily Chinese, with some goods transshipped through various countries, including UAE and Singapore and Hong Kong. Let's look at those details and come back on the other side with a conversation with India's former Foreign Secretary, Kanwal Sibbal. Joining us, India's former Foreign Secretary, Mr. Kanwal Sibbal. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us from London. And this information that has come out, which is a threat assessment by Pentagon about on United States security situation. On Pakistan, it clearly mentions that Pakistan looks at tackling their India threat with the use and beefing up of, if not use, but beefing up of their tactical nuclear weapon arsenal. How would you see that, sir? Another round of nuclear blackmail from Pakistan?
Well, this is an old story, Abhishek. This is nothing new. Pakistan has been developing tactical nuclear weapons. In fact, even threatening their use precisely to offset India's superior conventional advantage. The point here is that what does the United States intend to do about this? Okay, you issue a report like this, and you also say the channels they're using, Hong Kong, UAE, or whatever else, and seem to adopt a pretty neutral attitude, as if it is normal for Pakistan to develop tactical nuclear weapons, because these are meant for use, unlike the strategic weapons, which are only intended to be used if there is really an existential threat to a country.
Right.
But tactical nuclear weapons are battlefield weapons. And the United States and NATO are very sensitive to Russia having developed tactical nuclear weapons and the threat that they have been propagating about Russia's willingness to use these tactical nuclear weapons, etc., etc.
Right.
Now, you see the absurdity in this. On the one hand, we know that the United States, along with China, helped Pakistan develop its initial nuclear capability. And if they're developing tactical nuclear weapons, where is the help coming from? And what is the United States doing to block the channels from where they're getting all this material and know-how and everything else clandestinely?
Yeah.
The United States is very strongly positioned in, for example, UAE.
Right.
Now, point is that you can make reports like this, but at the same time, you don't want to declare Pakistan the aggressor, you don't want to declare it a terrorist state, and you also help in getting Pakistan access to a $2 billion of IMF bailout.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the point of pressure that they should use. That if you're going to use the bailout money that we are giving you to develop your nuclear capabilities,
Yeah.
Which are a danger to stability, not only in the South Asian context, in the subcontinental context, but in a regional and wider context, because no one has until today used tactical nuclear weapons.
So you think
what is the United States?
Yeah,
Sorry.
I mean, you think this could be America is scaremongering, given the fact that President Trump used some nuclear signaling as the reason why he sort of jumped into the talks?
I think, from my own experience, things of course changed, I must admit, but from my own experience in the service, the United States has always batted for strategic stability in the subcontinent. That is, build up Pakistan to a point where India cannot be entirely dominant and can pose a serious threat to Pakistan, that Pakistan should have the ability to counter India. And that's why they produce these reports without any judgment and without any steps they intend to take to try and suppress these ambitions, nuclear ambitions of Pakistan. And the fact that China is there to support Pakistan, so what is the United States doing about that?
Yeah.
And all this ultimately has relevance to the entire Indo-Pacific concept.
Right.
If you want security and everything else in the Indo-Pacific, and India and United States are partners, the threat is not only from China, threat is also from Pakistan and the China-Pakistan nexus.
Absolutely.
So Pakistan building up its nuclear capacity against India is in fact a regional threat. It's an Indo-Pacific threat.
Absolutely, sir. So instead of just mentioning it in their threat assessment report, they should be doing something about it. The Americans should be doing something
exactly.
about it.
And at least share with us what they intend to do.
Absolutely.
I'm very doubtful if they have shared anything with us.
And so, it's not a secret from Lop Nor to Kahuta via the thieving network of AQ Khan. Pakistan has effectively, built its bomb using, stolen technology and of course, Chinese support. But what is worrying perhaps is that these tactical nuclear weapons, essentially because it's a little easier to operate them, there is always this clear and present danger that this can fall into rogue hands given the state of affairs in Pakistan. So you believe that it's not just an Indian problem or an American problem, it's the world's problem to handle?
Abhishek, when you talk about rogue hands, you think already the rogue hands don't have a finger on the nuclear trigger in Pakistan. Look at the Pakistani army chief. I mean, he's an out-out rabid Islamist. How is he any better than the rogue elements that you are referring to?
True.
But apart from that, it's not easy for people who are not trained to handle nuclear weapons and have after all, they have to be launched, and you have to have a complete understanding of how it works, and then have a battlefield strategy. So I think it's not that simple that somebody can go and simply steal something and use it. There would have to be full connivance with the Pakistani armed forces and whoever intends to use them. So I don't think that Pakistan will take the risk of using tactical nuclear weapons, because our nuclear doctrine is very clear. That whatever the Pakistani use by way of nuclear weapons, tactical or otherwise, will be responded to with a massive nuclear strike.
Right.
Now, if Pakistan is on a suicide mission, then it's a different matter.
Yeah, and in the recent past, from Uri to Pulwama and from Pulwama to Pahalgam, I think India has made a statement that below the nuclear threshold, we can still exercise military and kinetic options and to lethal effect, as can be seen from the taking down of terror infrastructure in this round during Operation Sindoor. Thank you so much, Mr. Sibal, for joining us with that perspective on this threat assessment report of the United States, which sort of scaremongers on Pakistan's use of nuclear weapons below the strategic threshold. Thank you so much.